Happy Venus Day, Alchemists. Welcome to your Venus in retrograde pickup pile. Venus does go retrograde on the 22nd, which is tomorrow, and also my best friend's birthday. So happy birthday to her if she's listening to this. So pick your pile. This is going to be pile 1, the smoky quartz crystal heart here, or pile 2, the Septarian heart, which is so pretty and chunky, for pile 2 to the right. All right, so let's get started because I did pick a lot of cards from different decks, and I only have 8 minutes per pile with Instagram. So let's see, what is this Venus retrograde about for pile 1? And I got so many different cards from different decks, so let's see. All right, so the first thing I'm getting for pile number 1 is that you guys may be my water signs. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. A lot of water energy here. You may have your big 5 in a water sign, especially Venus, since we're talking about Venus in retrograde. I get that, or you could also, I'm also getting like Pisces moon vibes from this pile as well. Like, I don't have my moon in Pisces, but in the last, I think, 2 years I've had my moon in Pisces, like with the progress chart. So I think that's how you say that. But anyways, I'm getting that vibe. I'm getting that for this pile, Venus retrograde is going to bring on revelations that you didn't expect. Okay, with the Dawn of Cups here, it says curiosity and discovery. I feel like for pile number 1, you're going to be really curious about spiritual topics, or about topics that affect your emotions or how you relate to others. This is Venus, right? I feel like you're getting really curious about, it's like themes with Pluto, it's themes of transformation, right? So it's also deep themes, right? Pluto has to do with the depth of things. It has to do with our spirituality, the occult. So I feel like group number 1, Venus retrograde, and how it's, transiting your chart might be affecting Pluto, might be aspecting Pluto. But in addition to that, I feel like it's really going to be revealing to you what needs to transform. And for some people, what needs to transform is that there needs to be some forgiveness here. Maybe there was some unforgiveness between you and someone else, or you and others. And these wounds or these triggers may be coming up between now and September 3rd to teach you, or to show you what needs to be transformed, what unforgiveness needs to be transformed within you to progress to the next level. And you're going to be really curious, or at least you're being guided to by God, by Spirit, by your guides, to get really curious about your emotional wounds, or how you relate to others, your wounds in relation to your relationships with others, but even with your relationship with self. Okay, with Vega here, this is virtue and proficiency. It says dance to the rhythm of your spirit, become one with the universe. Yeah, so it's a lot of like spiritual energy for pile number 1. I feel like you're going to be getting, as you dive into these deep topics, or these deep hang-ups or wounds or unforgiveness in this Venus retrograde cycle, you're going to be reaching more wholeness because of it, right? Because when we get hurt, when we go through hurtful situations, there's almost like a part of us, if it really affects us, becomes fragmented and stays in that moment in time, right? And sometimes we have to call back those parts of ourselves and reclaim who we are, right? So I feel like that is what a big theme for group number 1 is, that even with this coming together card, I feel like that's parts of you that are coming together, perhaps related to your gifts, perhaps related to things of the occult or topics of the occult. Maybe you want to be taking classes, or webinars or seminars about certain spiritual activations. I'm getting, I see this group also through working with forgiveness and through working through your unforgiveness. I really feel like, and getting curious about your spirituality and about, how you relate to others and how you can transform that moving forward in your relationships, and to become more whole, even in your relationship with yourself. I feel like you're calling in community and support and unseen help, as it says here with the held card. You're going to feel very held. Yes, I do feel like there will be times when you're a little bit triggered with this Pluto energy, but or volatile, but at the end of the day, I really feel like it's going to help bring the sense of wholeness, the sense of sureness about your journey, where you're meant to be and where you want to go. Okay. For this group, you're going to be dreaming a lot, spiritual dreams, maybe even dreams having to do with the shadow, because that's come up for me. As a Scorpio moon, I've had to learn to discern between dreams that are just revealing to me subconscious wounds and dreams that are actually prophetic, like predicting something. And so I feel like this group, you might be having dreams that may trigger you or may bring things up for you so that you can purge them, so that you can move through them, so that you can transform them. I will give you that caveat that, especially if you have Scorpio or Pluto placements, be discerning, okay? Don't start accusing people of things or, you know, waking up mad at people. Just pay attention to the dreams and how you feel, and how usually prophetic dreams, at least for me, are a little different than dreams that are shadow work, okay? So I feel like people here are going to be doing shadow work in their dreams. And it's going to be part of their forgiveness practice during Venus retrograde, part of them, part of you guys coming into your wholeness. Okay, I also feel with the Nine of Cups, like this energy is going to be very productive for my group number one. In other words, as you transform some of this unforgiveness, as you transform some, or you do some of this shadow work here, and you call in support and your community and your wholeness, really, you're going to be seeing that things, you know, your wishes start to come true, right? Especially wishes that you've made in the beginning part of the year or through different rituals. I feel like you're going to see things come together in a new way. It might be heavy at first, but as it transforms, you're going to see that everything is working towards your benefit. Okay, this can also be related to work, because this Vega card does have the Capricorn energy here. So you could also be a Capricorn. Or it could be, you know, themes related to spirituality and work. So maybe spiritual work if you're a light worker, or if you do this work, or learning about new guides, or, you know, opening new doors in terms of your spiritual journey. Look at the spiral here, the Fibonacci sequence. Yeah, you're just going to be really curious, pile number one, about what needs to transform in your life to get those ideal outcomes, especially when it comes to your relationship with yourself, your spirituality, so your relationship with God, and your relationship with others in this Venus retrograde cycle. Okay, so pay attention to your emotions, group number one. Be intentional about your shadow work. Be intentional about your dream work. So maybe chronicle it, write it down, keep a journal, because I feel like this is going to be really helpful for my pile number one. So I hope you guys resonated with this. If you did, please like, comment. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Or if you'd like a Venus retrograde reading, I may be offering one in my story today. We'll see. If not, you can always purchase a one topic or a mini reading with the Venus retrograde in mind on my website. All right, so group number two, you guys got two of these celestial cards. Oh, yes. I'm already seeing a message here. You got two of these as well. So you may be doing a lot of work with someone else, or particularly your relationships. Again, that is Venus energy. Yeah. All right, you guys. So pile number two. I'm definitely getting this message for you guys during the Venus retrograde. About your thoughts. Okay, be careful what thoughts you feed, right? I feel like this Venus retrograde is going to be showing you that your thoughts manifest a lot faster than you realize. I also feel like you can use your thoughts with this Virgo energy to work with you or to work against you, right? So be careful, group number two, with the thoughts that you engage with. I feel like there will be some intensity with you around the full moons in this retrograde cycle. You're going to need like extra grounding, I feel like, especially if you're like a Gemini moon or an air sign moon. You're going to have things come up. I feel like you're going to be working with crystals. You're going to be working with candles as well. You're going to be called to certain crystals, certain candles, or doing, you know, candle magic for release purposes. So things that come up for release during this Venus retrograde cycle could have to do with healing with the Virgo energy. You know, the Virgo energy is the healer. Healing your thoughts, healing the way you view things. There may be people talking, or things, you know, issues coming up with other people, maybe people who make assumptions, or who don't think before speaking, or who may have like negative self-talk or may speak negatively. I feel like this group is definitely expanding through the extremes, right? With this open card. I also feel like the purpose of the Venus retrograde for this group is to open yourself up, to say yes, to expand through the extremes, through the full moon cycles, or through the more grounded moments of Venus retrograde in Leo. Okay, it's also about you guys stepping into trust, trusting yourselves, trusting your instincts, trusting those nudges, those ideas you have to be creative, especially with Leo energy. I also feel like if this group has already started feeling like the chatty mind, or like the negative mind, or like things coming up in the mental body, you're gonna be inspired or redirected to refocus, to begin something new, to find a way to transmute some of this some of these intrusive thoughts, like through art, or through healing modalities, or through classes, or through seminars. I said that with Power 1 as well, but I've just been seeing that a lot, not only in myself, but with others as well. This Venus retrograde also is a time of healing for my group number 2. Again, very much healing in the mental space, right? You may have Venus in an air sign as well. You may be taking time for yourself to refocus, to kind of ground a bit, so that these thoughts, these intrusive thoughts, don't affect your energy. I feel that you're going to also be, group number 2, very open to insight. Okay, very open through insight from your guides, from your own higher self. Here we have Algarve, right? And these are two very different energies. And it says hostility and anonymity. Do not allow your ego to blind your soul. Offer benevolence to those who despise you. Yeah, so again, if there's any like chatting or talking or gossip going on for you during Venus retrograde, pile number 2, that triggers you, there's a lesson here about showing benevolence to those who you know, don't want to wish us well, or who talk shit, or who, you know, aren't helpful in the way. It could be at work as well with this Virgo energy. Like, don't listen too much about what other people are saying. Like, a lot of times what people say are just a reflection of themselves, just a projection. I feel like you're going to be transmuting this energy, the mental communication energies in your life as well. And I also feel like if anybody does like throw shade at you during Venus retrograde, just send them light. That's a great way to transmute as well. And you have confidence and acceptance. Confidence is earned by looking at yourself without any filter or without any judgment, right? So I do feel like this pile, a lot of your shadow work that's coming up in Venus retrograde has to do with your relationship, yes, with others, but also with yourself. And like the judgment that you make, like the harsh judgments that you may place on yourself, that's very Virgo energy, right? Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on the thoughts that come up or the emotions that come up. Just stay grounded and find a way to refocus that energy into something productive, in a way to be more open, in a way to inspire healing, in a way to speak better about yourself and others, even if they are not doing that, or they're not reciprocating that, right? That's kind of like a lesson for you. You might have this tendency to be a perfectionist as well in this pile. Those energies might come up. Nothing, you know, nothing is perfect. Nothing needs to be perfect for it to work out, and for it to work out beautifully at that. So I definitely feel like you're going to be working through some ego stuff, pile number 2, and working with some intrusive thoughts, or releasing some intrusive thoughts, particularly in this retrograde period around the full moon. So I hope that this resonated, you guys. Sending you so much love. Take care.